Scuba Diving Introduction. Scuba diving, the very name invokes images of cool, crystal clear water and ocean breezes. Imagine life traveling the seas, searching for the wildlife that lives within the great oceans of the world. Many people interested in scuba diving are those with adventurous spirits. Still others are people passionate about the sea, and others rely on scuba diving as their livelihood. No matter your reason and your interest in buying this book, here you will learn everything you need to know to start your journey in scuba diving. Scuba diving, what is it? Before you learn how to scuba dive, you should first understand what it is and is not. Scuba diving for many is a sport. It is one that can be fun and undertaken for leisure, or one necessary to advance one's career. Consider, for example, deep-sea fishers or marine biologists interested in exploring complex underwater realms. For people falling into this category, scuba diving is essential to their livelihood. Chances are, if you're reading this guide, you are interested in scuba diving for fun, experimentation, and leisure. You may have already taken a scuba diving class, or this book may be your first step to learning what there is to know about scuba diving. Rest assured you will find this beginner's guide a comprehensive resource catering to your needs. Scuba history. Scuba diving is not something new. In fact, human beings have long enjoyed the sport of diving, or holding their breath and searching underwater for hidden treasures, including starfish, seashells, and the like. For years, researchers and scientists have turned to the ocean to search for hidden artifacts or ancient wrecks, trying to find clues about our history, how we lived in the past, and how our past affects our present. Here is a brief timeline of events leading up to modern-day scuba diving. Early 1500s, the first diving bell comes about. This is a metallic chamber that people would sit in attached to a large cable that individuals would lower into the water to move divers from one spot to another. Supported by a strong cable, divers could travel great distances underwater. Mid-1600s. It was not until the mid-1600s the first air pump came about, allowing divers to breathe effectively and more efficiently for short periods underwater. Around the same time, divers began realizing that deep-water diving could result in a serious medical condition called the bends if divers surfaced too quickly after long periods underwater. Late 1600s. During the late 1600s, a man named Edmund Halley created a unique diving bell that allowed fresh air to channel in through piped barrels attached to the device. Early 1700s. The diving bell was further refined, and engineers worked to create cylinders that helped divers by providing compressed air and greater water resistance. Early 1800s. The first official suit for diving came about thanks to the effort of Charles Deane and his brother. This suit included a detached helmet to provide air to divers. Middle 1800s. The military began training participants to dive and began recognizing the need for diving experts to conduct underwater operations. Around the same time, two men patented an underwater breathing device that included a compressed air tank connected to a mouthpiece. Early 1900s. More attention to compression sickness came about as researchers and military officials began realizing the serious nature of what they called compressed air sickness. You will learn more about this dangerous side effect of improper diving later. Middle 1900s. The famous Jacques Cousteau helped create what we now know as the aqualung, enabling true deep-water diving safely by supplying continuous oxygen to divers for specified times. Around the same time, people began making record dives safely to deeper and deeper regions, up to 4,500 or more feet on some occasions. In 1958, two divers recorded a world record depth of 13,000 plus feet. 2 years later, the famous Jacques Cousteau dove even further, reaching a depth greater than 35,000 feet using a diving suit he created. As you can see, diving has come a long way since its beginnings in the 1500s. Keep in mind the points above only reflect information that people recorded about diving. Since the dawn of time, human beings have held a fascination with the sport of diving, one that continues today. Today's research concentrates on perfecting equipment, protecting scuba divers, and dive safety standards. Most people must now earn scuba certifications through training to dive safely with others or for professional purposes. Divers now use technologically advanced equipment to uncover underwater mysteries. Did you know? Diving is now popular not only among researchers, but also an important part of many rescue operations and Secret Service operations. FBI agents now know many terrorist groups and other individuals that might threaten security often use underwater divers for spy operations, to plant bombs, and to engage in other nefarious activities. This is not uncommon, as divers have long been the source of much controversy and trouble in times of war. when nations are more likely to use submarines for observation, protection, and attack when needed. Most of diving is not bad, however. There are rescue dive teams at many emergency fire and EMS services that work to protect people and work in search and rescue. Not all diving is serious in nature, however. Most people engage in scuba diving because it is challenging and fun. Diving will likely continue to be a popular sport and pastime for years to come. It is one of the few ways human beings can enjoy all the deep sea has to offer safely without investing too much time and effort. Now that you know a little more about scuba diving's history, let's talk more about the sport of diving and how you can embark on a journey that will last a lifetime. The next section provides an outline of scuba diving, including a definition of the term scuba, its meaning, and its relationship to you, the beginner diver. Are you ready? Good, then let's start.